Fuel spill at Tauranga Airport, attempted break-in to local Matamata business, and Waikato Women's Refuge hosts celebrity fundraiser night. Kia ora and welcome to Central News on TV Central for Monday the 23rd of February. I'm Amanda Harper. An attempted break-in occurred over the weekend at Movie Hub on Firth Street in Matamata. Earlier today, the Central News team caught up with the owner.
Okay, well about 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, somebody tried to break into our shop. The resident upstairs heard a noise and came down and saw the person run off. So I got to work the following morning and I saw the damage. I'm really not sure what they were after. There's no cash kept on the premises or anything like that.
Sergeant Graham McGurk from Matamata Police Station say they are investigating possible connections to a spate of break-ins that happened within the vicinity on Saturday night and Sunday morning. If you saw anything suspicious over the weekend, please call Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. A mechanical refuelling issue caused a minor scare at Tauranga Airport overnight. Mount Maunganui firefighters were called to the airport on Aerodrome Road at around 9:35 after 50 litres of aviation fuel was left in the loading bay next to the runway. A Mount Maunganui Fire Brigade spokesperson says it was a minor spill caused by what appears to be a mechanical issue in where the fuel is stored. A fire spokesperson says the aviation fuel, unlike the aviation gas which vaporizes, was already being contained by the airport's fire security team who had a spill kit set up. Speed and endurance of Bay of Plenty's top senior surf lifesavers has been put to the test this weekend, with Mount Maunganui Surf Lifesaving Club members proving the best of the best. Under 16 to open grade surf lifesavers from the Mount, Papamoa, Omanu, Waihi and Whakatane surf clubs, as well as Taranaki, Wellington, Gisborne and Auckland, competed on Saturday and Sunday at the Papamoa Surf Club for the top spot in the Bay of Plenty Senior Championships. Surf Lifesaving New Zealand Eastern Region Sport Manager Scott Bicknell says the event went really well, with the Mount team tallying up 575 points across the two-day event. The Bay of Plenty's kiwi fruit industry is nervously awaiting developments in Auckland in the hope that the Queensland fruit fly population discovered in Grey Lynn is isolated and eradicated. Alistair Hawkey, Executive Director of Te Puke Post-Harvest Operator Trevelyan's, says now is a very anxious time for all players in the industry. He says they are expecting it to be localised in Auckland, but the fact the insect, which is a threat to a wide range of fruit and vegetable crops, was able to enter New Zealand is of great concern. Now for our region's weather. Hamilton, your Tuesday outlook will be fine spells, afternoon showers and light winds. High of 25 and low of 12. The rest of the Waikato will be the same with fine spells and afternoon showers in some parts. Paeroa high of 24 and 14, Matamata high of 22 and low of 14, Te Awamutu high of 25, low of 12, and Tokoroa 23 high and low of 12 as well. Over in the Bay, Tauranga, fine spells with light winds, high of 24 and low of 16. For the rest of the Bay of Plenty, fine spells with isolated afternoon evening showers and light winds. Te Puke, high of 22 and low of 15. And for the marine forecast, west coast northeast of 15 knots dying out tomorrow morning. Your high tide will be at 3:17 p.m. And on the east coast, northeast 15 knots as well, dying out in the morning. High tide at 12:27 p.m. Coming up, Women's Refuge. Welcome back to Central News. I'm Amanda Harper. This week there is something special happening at Tūranga Waiwai Marae, and you will want to be a part of it. Ronnie Albert from the Waikato Women's Refuge spills the details on the star-studded fundraiser happening this Thursday.
We've got a huge fundraiser happening next Thursday, 26th of February at Tūranga Waiwai. It's really exciting, one of our more exciting times working in this work. First fundraiser, and it's going to be a fun night with a number of celebrities. So we've been able to secure Liam Neeson and some of his teammates. We've got Jenny May Coffin, who's going to be doing an interview, David Tua, Anne Thorpe, who's going to be cooking, is our celebrity chef, and Tina Cross, who's going to be singing the Women's Refuge song that she created. Yeah.
And what will the money that's raised on the night, what will that be used for?
That's going to be used for our operations and sustainability. It's also a fusion of bringing corporate and community together. So it's a real honour and privilege to have it on at Tūranga Waiwai Marae, and to bring many of our corporate people together from the Waikato area and all over.
So what can the public expect on the night?
A whole heap of fun, I hope. It's going to be really fast, so, well, I think it's going to be really fast. You know, we have our pōwhiri that starts at 6:45. We'll be in Kimi-Ora by 7 o'clock, and the night starts from there. So there'll be a couple of us that will be talking. There'll be around the couch discussion with Jenny May Coffin and some of the sports celebrities. They'll be speaking from myself and Anna, and also one of our women that have used the service, used the Women's Refuge, and then we'll go into a spiel of the auction. But during that time there'll be the entree and the fusion, Māori fusion hangi, and our fabulous sticky date pudding that's at the end. I had to promote that.
Yum, that sounds really good. Yeah. So you mentioned, obviously, we've got Jenny May Coffin, Anna Stretton, Liam Neeson getting involved. Would you say it's easy to get celebrities and sports stars on board with a cause such like this?
It has been for us because of the people that we've built relationships with. You know, with Anna Stretton, we have a wonderful new board of trustees that have been created, and they have the connections into the celebrities and influential people, and it's been amazing because this is a relationship that we're just developing. To develop with corporates and the like hasn't been where we've gone. It's been with the community and government departments and agencies, and that's where we've created our relationships within the iwi. But we haven't gone there with corporate people, business. So it's new.
Okay. And how do you get tickets to this event?
There's an email that you send to Saving Rose. Off the top of my head, I don't know it, but that's something we can promote.
Yes.
So, and also there's a contact number, Deborah, who's the events coordinating it.
Okay.
And then people can just ring through there. They'll send it either an invoice or they can book online.
Yep. Now lastly, just to finish off, so aside from raising money for a good cause, why is it important for nights like this for the community to come together and show support?
The importance for us is that you get to know what we do. Because not many people know what the refuge does. There's myths around that. They break up families, because they house them away from the partners and there's no support there. A whole heap of things, and I think it's important that we need to promote what we actually do.
Yeah.
There's a wide range of work that we do, and it's not just that, and it helps the whole family.
For more information, email savingrose2015@gmail.com. Up next, Russell Alexander from Hobbiton gives us the lowdown on what's happening at one of New Zealand's premier tourist attractions.
We've got that coming with the Cricket World Cup coming. And we're working in with Tourism New Zealand, and some of our, I can't remember, someone within our team, or there's a group of us come up with this crazy idea of doing a promotional thing, and we pitched an idea to Tourism New Zealand of doing a game of backyard cricket and on the party field, and mowing it and using very, very aged old bats and wickets, and we'll do some picket fences around, and we're going to have 4 teams and do a game of backyard cricket on the party field. The Hobbit Holes is the backdrop, and getting a lot of the celebrities that are involved in the World Cup that are going to be out here and have this game of cricket, and then some drinks over the Green Dragon, and hopefully that's going to go around the world as one of the big events that's being shown while the World Cup's being on.
Are you going to get Weta Workshops to make those cricket bats?
No, I think we'll do that ourselves.
Oh.
We have a whole joinery team and a whole team of prop makers and set makers out there. The maintenance team's probably about 20 people. Just
Really?
maintaining the gardens and developing and building things to look cool.
Wow, and so you actually have your own joinery set designers out there?
Yep.
Wow.
So a lot of the guys that built the props on the original set and involved in the film company are back with us permanently. Living here in Matamata, so I'm working here every day.
I was going to say, they kind of went to do the movies out there and then were like, oh, I want to live here.
Exactly. And there's a whole bunch have done that. So
That's
and
cool.
we've got some very clever people there, and they do make some really neat things, and learning how to age and make props and make artificial fruit that looks like real fruit and all those sort of things. There's a real art to it.
It is it's a very skilled kind of technique, isn't it? When they did the eyesight, I was quite fascinated at all the little details into, and you look closer and you're like, oh wow, that's yogurt to mould the walls.
Yeah, they introduce yogurt often to like help encourage bacteria for part of aging, and we put moss on things, so it's a mixture of moss and paint and glue, and just for the aging process. And when you're wanting to age timber, you use vinegar, and vinegar is a key ingredient. It's one of the ingredients that the scenic art people use to age timber. And there's a whole lot of techniques. It's like all things, it's always a whole series of things that make something work.
Magic of movies, eh?
The magic of movies, absolutely.
Now, speaking of the movie, if I went out to Hobbiton, would I feel like I was in the set?
I'd like to think so, absolutely. The set's been taken back to exactly how it was during the movie. And, we've spent the last 12 months really getting all the props back up into place and theming some other holes. We have a beekeeper and we have a carpenter on the set. There's a cheesemaker, and all those different hobbit holes, there's different themes there, and they've got the various props that are required to give the theme, and some of them are just straight houses.
Stay with us for more from Russell.
See, most of it's permanent, but sometimes you bring in stuff like you're bringing in great big huge water features for this crystal.
Yeah, Crystal Cruises is, I think, a cruise ship company based out of America. And we've done two big events for them in the past. The first time was 2005. And we've got one coming up in about just over a week's time, actually. And they're bringing very high-end, I think it's the highest end cruise customers in the world. And they're doing a 108-day world cruise right around the world on this cruise ship, Crystal Serenity, that docks into Tauranga. And as part of that, they get a complimentary world cruise event, and they're choosing to host that at Hobbiton. And what we'll have 530 guests come for the evening, where we'll set up a continuous marketplace, continuous food and drinks and fine wine and canopies, and really entertain them, and have singers, and we'll bring farriers in, and we'll do a puppet show and a whole lot of marketplace stuff, and have food stalls. And as it gets dark about 9 o'clock, we'll have a water screen. And when I was in America back in July, I called into the guys that do the stuff in Disney and saw them and sort of developed some ideas on what we could do there. And so what we're going to have is two big screens on the lake that'll be 80-foot wide water screens. And so we've got to get a 120,000 kVA generator to drive the pumps to get enough water to drive these big screens that'll be 40 foot high and 40 foot out, so make it 80 foot wide. And we have two of them, so we get two different vantage points. And these screens can just pop up like it's mist. It's a water screen, like I think it's California Adventures in Disneyland. And then we'll project images from the movie onto that, and then people in the screen will drop or will stop, and then they can see them, and the backdrop will be the Hobbiton movie set. Then they'll see a scene, and it almost places them in the movie as the idea. And then we've got speeches from Sir Richard Taylor's coming up, and we've got 4 of the dwarves from the movie, they're coming up, and we've made a special barge exactly like they had in the movie, and the cruise director will sort of be at this barge, we'll punt me up from coming out of the trees, and we'll fog the whole lake, and then he'll sort of come out of the fog and be in the middle of the lake, and then he'll do a welcome to all the guests and the dwarves, and it's Crystal Cruise's 25th anniversary, so, and then we'll do the shots from the movie and trailers and all these speeches from Richard and to Peter. And then when that finishes, we'll cut back to having lasers and do a laser show into the screen, and then obviously we'll have a lighting show as well and have highlights and lights into it. And hopefully the combination will be finished with a small fireworks display.
Is anything done by Haas at Hobbiton?
Well, not for Crystal Cruises, not for a special event like this. That high end, we have to do things well. But no, anything we do on the set, if we can't do it properly and authentically, we don't do it at all. And so, no, nothing's done by Haas really.
How authentic is it? I mean, is there this kind of standard? I mean, obviously it's not bureaucracy, but have you got a standard that everything has to be at? Do Warner Brothers kind of come in and say...
we're in control of our own destiny in that sense. But yeah, we set our own standards effectively, and the whole success of Hobbiton really comes down to the detail that we have in the gardens, the detail and props that people have no idea what's involved in making a major movie, and that's our self-set standards that we want to keep the standards of the set to portray and do justice to what Peter did in the movies, and people go away with an understanding of what's involved in making a major movie. So we like to think we're mixing a bit of storytelling with an education process, and people learn about another industry.
I mean, and it's a fascinating industry, isn't it? I mean,
I had no idea what film was about until obviously we had a blockbuster movie made on our property.
That must have been quite something to wake up one morning, you're a sheep farmer originally.
Originally off a sheep farm, yeah, and an accountant and yeah.
And then to wake up the next morning and all of a sudden you've had these...
It didn't just happen like you wake up and it happens, sort of a scout comes, you talk to them, you negotiate for months. So, and then, they come and build a set and it sort of grows, and the first movie gets more successful, and and we'd had these ideas of tourism, and like people think it's instant success over, overnight or over 1 year, but we've actually been going 16 years now, and so 1998 was the first meetings we had about it. So it was like you evolve with it and grow, it's an evolution that you grow, so it doesn't just happen.
Every day, Hobbiton attracts hundreds of visitors to our region. Aren't we lucky? The concert by the lake, hosted by the Rotary of Matamata, still went ahead in the weekend despite the wet weather, with amazing talent featuring the Society Jazzmen, local Brian Rawiri and Jamie McDowell.
Hi, I'm Bob Douglas. I'm with the Society Jazzmen. I play the trombone, sing a few songs, manage the band. And my good friend here is
Arthur Cummins. I play trumpet with the band, and me and Bob have been together for
46 years. The band was formed in 1969, and we're two of the originals left.
yeah.
And the other members of the band have been with us 30 odd years and so on. Altogether, we've got over 400 years service with the whole group, and we still haven't ended up in the rest home yet. Well, that's coming. That's coming.
No, it's not.
Delicate. Well, it is.
No, it ain't.
But there's lots of...
The rest homes won't take us, and we've already applied.
They won't let us stay out late. But we've been playing this jazz since 1969, and we're having a ball. We're still playing.
It's happy.
Uninterrupted.
It's happy music.
Yes. We love playing and get people to clap their hands, sing along, and do whatever.
though the weather didn't quite add up, it was still a great time. That is our show for the night. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Just search centralnews.tv. Or if you have a story for us, email news@tvcentral.co.nz. Join me tomorrow night and for the rest of the week for more stories from the Waikato and the Bay of Plenty. I'm Amanda Harper. Have a good night. Paul Marier.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.